I have just learned, and I'm also about to share with you exclusive information about Do Big Studios owning Grow a Garden and basically this whole drama that we're all talking about right now. Before I even get into this video, make sure to note this is not a hate video. This is also not a love video. This is an unbiased true facts that I have gotten confirmed by the community managers as well as a lot of different moderators from the Grow a Garden Discord server. But without further ado, let me explain this whole situation as well as give all of the truthful facts, all the information that I have gathered today. First things first, this whole thing started when on the Do Big Studios website, you can see Grow a Garden. It's right here under our games, meaning that Do Big Studio owns the game. And many people thought that they fully bought it outright, but Grow a Garden themselves in the Discord server was basically trying to say that, oh, they don't actually own the game. What are you guys talking about? And this is basically confirmed by the community manager. And if you guys don't know what a community manager is, he basically manages what the owners / the game puts out and says to the community. So when this guy says something, it basically is almost coming from the actual owner of the game because the owner gives this guy a lot of information about the game. His name is Brighter in the Discord server, and he said this: Do Big does not own the game. Stop complaining about stuff that doesn't even exist. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, this message is 100, or actually let me just say this, 80% a lie. And I don't know about you, but 80% of a lie, to me, that's still a lie. But I will be getting into why this is a lie, but let me also go into the second message he also sent about this situation. By the way, these messages are actually pinned in the general community chat in the Grow a Garden Discord server by the community owner. All right. And even before this message that I was saying, Do Big does not own the game, 4 days ago now, he also said a very similar statement. Do Big does not own the game. And once again, this is a lie and we'll get into that. But the next message he sent after the second message he sent, I guess, is they work on it, they don't own it. First off, let me just say this. Anybody who is probably above the age of, I don't know, 12 years old can realize that that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would they work on the game if they don't benefit from it? You're not going to get work for free. That literally makes 0 sense. And I thought that something was fishy. And I actually recently posted a video about how Do Big owns the game. And then a lot of people were coming at me saying, no, Do Big doesn't actually own the game. They said it in the Discord server. And my argument to all the people who said, no, but look at the messages in the Discord server is, why are you guys just believing it? Because a message was sent in the Discord server over a literal official website on the Do Big Studios, an official website that says they own Grow a Garden. It literally says right here, our games. Also, like, if you believe the whole thing that, oh, they work on the game, but they don't own it in any way, that is very, very stupid. I'm sorry, okay? I know it doesn't make sense to some of your guys, but guys, nothing in this world is free. I will say that again, nothing in this world is free, which is why when that literally was said, it didn't make any sense to me. So I decided to get to the bottom of it. And that is when I actually started talking in the general chat, because I saw all these moderators saying, guys, Do Big doesn't own the game. Look at the pinned message. Look at the pinned message. And after reading the pinned message, I don't believe it. I genuinely did not believe it at all. So this is when I started talking in the Discord server and saying, bro, that doesn't make any sense. And kind of arguing with the mods, and they kept saying, bro, you're a content creator. This is a bad look on you. Stop spreading misinformation. And the truth is that they're the ones spreading misinformation. And I can 100% attest to this because I eventually got this message out of a mod. And this is the first of many kind of confessing / very, 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 messages that show they were lying in the first place. This is the first message, so I know it's hard to see, but I said this: how am I supposed to believe they don't own at least part of the game when the official Do Big website says it's their game? And Master Guard, one of the mods, said this: they only own a percentage of the game. They wouldn't be able to ruin it so bad if at all. Do Big can put up any game on their website. They could own 10% of the game and still call it theirs. And then in colons, he said they do that to please their investors. And you have to realize this: yes, to anyone that kind of makes a little bit of sense. Oh yeah, maybe they do it to please their investors. But you have have to realize this. I'm telling you right now, actual adults, grown adult investors do not care if your games have a lot of player count. They do not care about that. You know what they do care about? Money. Like, let's be serious, guys. Let's be serious. They care about money. They don't care about, I don't know, going on the website. Wow, you know, that looks really good. It has 470,000 people playing it. I'm so happy in my investment. Let's be serious. Like, let's be serious here, guys. You know what real, genuine adults care about when investing in something? Am I going to make money off of this? That's it. That's it. And me coming up with that realization was basically when I was thinking, okay, that's definitely a red flag. So they're saying, oh, it's just to please the investors. And second of all, they literally admitted in that exact message that they own a percentage of the game. Meaning, okay, let's say, I know they don't own 1%. It's 100,000% more than 1%. But even if it was 1%, guys, they lied. They lied, because Do Big does not own the game is what they kept saying over and over and over again. Do Big doesn't own the game. But the truth is, they do. And even if it was 1%, that is still a lie. Anyways, we have a lot more messages to go through. I'm going to kind of speed read through these because they almost say the same thing. I said, see, now the truth is starting to come out. You just admitted they own a portion of the game. And then the same mod said, okay, but they don't own the whole game. I made sure to screenshot all of this because I thought I actually genuinely might have gotten banned or kicked from the server. Luckily, I haven't, but I genuinely might. And if I do, I'm just going to have to get all my updates through like an alt account, but it is what it is. I don't care. I'm here to spread the truth. Next, I actually went into the content creator chat and had a very much better one-on-one chat with a different mod called Farmer Frog. We were talking about it and I said, okay, but they own a large portion. Am I wrong? It's not like a company is just going to work on a game for free. That's what we were talking about earlier. He said, yes, you're wrong. I said, that makes zero sense. So tell me how it is. And he said, Do Big Games does not own a majority portion of Grow a Garden. And I said, how much do they own then? Because them MFs are not working on that for free because they aren't. Then Farmer Frog says this, you do realize they get paid. It's not voluntary work. And I mean, obviously, but you literally, your other mod mentioned the fact that they own a percentage. So I'm not believing the fact that their only incentive is that they're just getting paid for the work that they do on the game, which is what I said. I said, obviously, bro, of course they get paid. I just had one of your mods admit that they own a portion. I don't know if it's a big portion or what, but I do want to know because, okay, this doesn't make sense, but I wanted to say, I do want to know because something fishy is going on here. And then we have more messages here. This one is from the community manager himself. He went in the content creator chat and I kind of tried to expose him or whatever, but here it is. Content creator. Do Big doesn't own the game. Don't go on a rant about it, which I'm kind of doing right now, but I'm also genuinely just showing it how it is. I'm not actually like ranting about it, but he said, don't go on a rant about it. Thanks. That just makes stuff worse. And I said, stop capping, bro. It ain't that big of a deal, but you ain't got to lie about it. And then he said, we weren't lying, question mark, question mark, question mark. What? It's on their website because they work on it, which once again is a genuine lie because I just had two mods now admit that they own a portion of the game. Make sure to keep watching because the community manager also admits that he lied because he's the one who said that Do Big doesn't own the game. But I also have him admitting later that once again, Do Big does own a portion of the game. Anyways, here it is right here. There's a bunch of other content creators here, but this is another guy replying to Do Big doesn't own the game. And he said, I don't care about who owns the game. Okay, that doesn't really matter. Anyways, Brighter literally responded to my message saying, I just had one of your mods admit that they own a portion, and Brighter said they do since the start, literally admitting that every single time when he said that Do Big doesn't own the game, that was a lie. Even if it's like a small portion of the game, which I personally do not believe it is, that is still them owning the game. And we're gonna get into another argument about this in a second. Let me pull up that picture. Here it is. This is between me and Farmer Frog again. He said, own the game means own the game, which basically means, oh, only if they own it 100%, that means they own the game, which doesn't make sense. But first, let me read these chats, then talk about it. He said, full out ownership. And I said, they partially own the game though. And Brighter said, the community manager, if I own a percentage of something, it doesn't mean I own it. And Farmer Frog said 100% or majority over 51%. Well, it would actually be over anything over 50, even 50.1. But you know, it is what it is. We're not going to get into the math of this. It is what it is. And I said back back to that. I don't know, bruh. It's still not truthful because it isn't. And then Farmer Frog says, if I invest in a company, do I own it? Do I outright own it? And I said, depends on how much you own. Because, okay, if it's like 1%, but I guarantee it's a sizable portion, because he even said majority, meaning, okay, so if it's 49%, they don't own a majority, doesn't make sense at all. That's actually the end of the screenshots that I actually have, but let me just explain that. Dude, even if they own 20 to 30%, they are still a owner. Bro, you realize in almost every single big company right now, if you are a 30% owner, you are a owner, because a lot of companies, I don't know how it genuinely like directly works for Roblox companies. But if we're talking about a real company and you genuinely own 30% of that company, you are on the board of directors. Like 99% of the time, you're always at the shareholder meetings because you are a big investor, even if you own 10 or 20% of a big company. So yes, I do personally believe that they own the game, even if it's, I do not think that it's like a small percentage like 10. I think it's at least 30 to 40% of the game, maybe even more. But the community manager himself said, if I own a percentage, so who knows? They might own 99% of the freaking game, dude. I don't know the exact amount. But in conclusion, to finish it out, the whole thing that's going on right now is basically the community manager and basically the whole Discord server lied about the fact that Do Big doesn't own the game, because they do. They own a portion. We don't know how big that portion is. It could be 1%, it could be 99%, but they do not own 100% of the game, which doesn't really say much. They are still an owner of the game. Yes, Do Big still owns the game. No, they haven't messed up the game yet. I'm still gonna keep playing it unless it like Ayze, which I don't think it will, but I'm literally just spreading the truth in this video. This is going to be my longest Grow a Garden video so far, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.